Coffee Pot Conversations.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Pot Conversations, hosted by An Englishman in Paris. My name is Paul and this is episode 2.8, Café Business Expo, but not in Paris. That's right, I'm here today in the ExCeL Centre in London for the Café Business Expo, incorporating the Hospitality Business Expo. Very similar to the last episode, the main difference being this one is for the whole side of the business rather than the coffee side. So it's not really about the beans or the roasting or the distribution. It's more about getting the people through the door. It's about offering coffee, but in reusable cups or recyclable cups. It's about how they're going to dispose of the rubbish from the half-eaten croissant. It's about how we're going to look after our staff. It's about the new incoming tips for the UK. But it's more than that. Because of the hospitality side of things, I'm looking at gin again, or gin again. Not sure how it's pronounced. They're selling gin. They're promoting gin. I've also got a look at Revolut Business. I've walked past a few lectures. I've seen different things about waste disposal, about screens up on the walls, about having those big luxurious shiny mobile coffee outlets that you see in the middle of shopping centres or business centres. Also not quite so glamorous are the ones that look like the old ice cream vans. But anyway, I've also seen pizza ovens, regular ovens for cafes. I've seen Frankie coffee machines and Delacorte stuck just behind them. There is a whole range of things. Zonal, the tap and pay people, how you order your food and your drinks off the touchscreen menus. I've seen a Gamify type thing where it's an app on your phone. That could be interesting to me because I love me bits of technology. But anyway, a little bit of background noise for you. No idea if that picked it up. But now we will have the news in a much quieter environment. And now it's back to you, Paul, in the studio. Thank you, Paul. And now it's time for the news. So, under the streets of Paris, round in the 14th arrondissement, we have Les Catacombs, or the catacombs. And this is where between 5 and 6 million people have their bones. They were literally dumped down quarry shafts at the end of the 18th and the beginning of the 19th centuries. I don't want to go into too much detail because I'll be covering the catacombs in an upcoming episode. I haven't been there yet myself. I've walked past the entrance a couple of times when I stayed with Nev during our 10k stint. I want to go. I do. Is it somewhere I want to take the boys? Quite possibly. I may go there first. I don't know. I haven't fully worked that one out yet. But this is one issue that sort of brings me back to a previous episode whereby I had finished reading a book called Mummified by Angela Stien. So apologies about any mispronunciations of your surname. But it was very good. I enjoyed it, and it does get you thinking about where we take remains of people who have died and we put them on display. Should we be doing that? Should we be glorifying their deaths? Should we be taking them from their original places of death? It was a very interesting book, and it's a very interesting, thought-provoking conversation, which if you wish to engage with me on, email me 2.8 at An Englishman in Paris. Or mummy at An Englishman in Paris. Anyway, these bones were removed from where they were originally buried. Long story short, they ended up in Le Catacombe, whereby Philippe Charlier is going to, along with a team of archaeologists, anthropologists, biologists and doctors. They're going to be examining some of the skeletons of the 5 to 6 million people, and they're going to be studying to determine what diseases and parasitic infections that they suffered, as well as any poisonings by heavy metals such as lead, mercury and even arsenic. How about that, eh? So this Charlier says maladies that leave a trace on human bones, including rickets, syphilis and leprosy, are easier to identify, but DNA extraction from teeth allows them to pinpoint infectious agents such as the plague that kill too rapidly to make a mark. How exciting is that? They can also see, for example, he says, if the syphilis that killed someone in the 16th century is the same as the syphilis of today, or whether the infectious agent of the disease has micro-evolved. That don't sound good, does it? Here begins another outbreak. No, I'm joking. I suspect they'll die before they reach the surface. I'm joking. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't write novels. However, he does go on to say that the project's now in its third year and the team will produce the first preliminary findings before the end of the year, and he predicts that the work will outlive his career. So maybe I was right about the outbreak. No, I'm only joking. Let's move on to the next topic before this one kills me. Yeah. Here's a good one. New York City. They envision turning Fifth Avenue into a grand boulevard. Yep, that's right. Un grand boulevard. So pretty much the city officials of New York City, they envision turning Fifth Avenue into a grand boulevard, which is just pretty much exactly how the Independent have said it. So what they're looking at doing is picture the Champs-Élysées. And place it in America, where Fifth Avenue is. And that's sort of what they're looking at doing to celebrate the 200th anniversary of one of the most famous streets in the world. Can it be done? Well, they reckon it's only going to cost just a little over $350 million, and it's going to be paid through a mix of public and private financing. That's according to Mayor Eric Adams' administration. Yeah, it's going to be the Avenue's first major redesign and could pay for itself in less than 5 years through increased property and sales tax revenue. We will wait and see. They think it could start work in as early as 2028. All they're looking at doing is doubling the size of the sidewalks, or pavements, as we also call them, reducing traffic lanes from 5 to 3, as well as adding seating areas and hundreds of trees and planters, among other improvements. So, yeah, pretty much you're just going to do the Champs-Élysées. And whilst talking about the Champs-Élysées, just to let you know, I'm not running the Saint-Denis Marathon. Nope. That's because I've only literally read about it. It's taking place on October 27th. It's their first one. And it's going to be, obviously, 26 miles or 42.195 kilometres, which is a little over 26 miles. And it's going to go from the Olympic Village via the Basilique de Saint-Denis, the Olympic Aquatic Centre and the Parc Georges Vauban, as well as the town of Pierrefitte-sur-Seine. It's got a 180-metre positive gradient. I don't know what that means, but it does say it gives you the chance to put in some great performances on what promises to be a sporting day. And finally, Eurostar Snap. Yep, that's back, apparently. Didn't know it was there in the first place. But pretty much what you can do is you can book your Eurostar ticket. So I think they give you 2 weeks to do it, and that's great. I can book a ticket 2 weeks in advance. Lovely. 50% off. My mistake. Up to 50% off, which is lovely. You get told the train times at least 48 hours before you travel. So that's great. You do that, you get your discount, then you have to hope and pray that you can get a hotel, which in fairness probably won't be that difficult, as there are nearly 1,500 hotels in Paris. Which are the best? No, you're not going to trick me into that. These are the top 10 hotels in Paris. No, I will be doing lists later on. I've already made a list of the lists that I'm going to be listing, but it's difficult. These are the best. These are my favourite. It's all subjective. So listen out for those. It's going to be much later on. It's not going to be season 3 because there's so much work I need to do for that. And there will be a lot of talking, I'm afraid. But this is your chance to email in and say, here's my suggestion. That's a good one. Suggestions at anenglishmaninparis.blog. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Anyway, enough talking. Here's Rory.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
Hello, and who are you?
Hi, I'm James Fahey. I'm the co-founder and CEO of JustTip.
And what is it that you do?
JustTip is a contactless tipping platform that allows businesses to become compliant with legislation and make sure the tip that you leave for the staff goes directly to them.
And is that new legislation that's coming in?
Yes, exactly. So it came out on the 1st of October in the UK. I am an Irishman, so it came in December 2022. We're always ahead of the English, obviously. So yeah, that's what we've been doing for the last couple of years. So it's a business that myself and my co-founder started at 19, so I'm currently 23. I feel about 53, but I am 23. It's on my birth cert. Yeah, that's really what I've been at for the last while.
Excellent. You're saying that the Irish are ahead of the English. I can guarantee that you're right.
Not in football, though. Rugby.
Don't talk football, dirty sport. But with years back, I went to Dublin for my friend's stag do. It wasn't a stag do, it was just me and him. And we went into a bar, couldn't tell you where it was.
Sounds like an average night in Dublin, don't worry.
Yeah. We came out, and in the morning I said, something's wrong. He went, what? I said, I can't smell cigarette smoke. And you were much before us with banning smoking, which amazing. So thank you for
Indoors.
that.
We're still allowed to smoke outdoors.
Oh,
There's no one going to give out to people smoking on the street.
I say the EU won't stop that at all. And talking of the EU with the whole tax thing, I'm just going to bring it back to Paris briefly.
Yeah, sure.
There's no tipping culture in Paris. How do you feel about that?
Look, it's an interesting one. It's a conversation we have with a lot of people. Tipping isn't here, tipping isn't there. Yeah. Tipping is everywhere. And if people go, the US is the biggest tipping market in the world, I'm sorry, but London slaps 20 or 12.5% on every coffee. So I met with my chairman there about a few weeks ago, and we both got a coffee in a coffee shop. Now, we ordered at the till. I collected the coffees and I sat it down. So I basically did all the service, but I paid 12.5% service charge. So, when you go abroad, the American culture has come into Europe and people do tip. So I guess we have a market that kind of spans across Ireland, the UK, Spain and Portugal. We'll be in Paris soon, don't worry.
Excellent. I look forward to that. So let's start talking about you.
Yeah, sure.
You with the business, how did that all come about?
Oh, God, I have no idea. No, so I was 19. Like every 19-year-old, you want to start a business. And the whole thing was fairly simple. I was in a coffee shop. I wanted to leave a tip. And when you go to leave a tip, you kind of go, is that going to you? And you don't carry cash because, I don't. Yeah. Unless I can see my nanny and she gives me £20 and says, keep that quiet. That's really the only time I ever have cash. So it kind of spawned from there. So like growing up, I lived in Australia. So I like to use the analogy of surfing. When you're surfing, you never stop and think, well, why am I doing this? You just ride that wave. So yeah, we've managed to grow the business to just over 500 businesses using our platform now in Ireland, the UK, Spain and Portugal. There's 12,500 employees signed up with us and that we pay weekly. We've raised over 2 million as a business and we have more funding rounds coming in early next year. But yeah, this is obviously voice only, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah. You don't look it, but yes, it is voice only.
You're giving me a compliment, thank you.
The tipping culture. Obviously you're saying about cash with your nan.
Yeah.
How did you, whether you as a business or you personally, with COVID, from that change from cash to contactless? So
this idea came about December 2020. So I was fortunate enough that I just finished school in 2020, so secondary school. Yeah, it's all right. Oh, yeah.
God,
I am young. I feel it as well. But no, so the kind of conversation around cashless had already, in my opinion, had concluded. People had gone cashless. So we had jumped into a market that was pretty much set in stone. It was a cashless economy, especially coffee shops. It's expensive for coffee shops to hold cash and to take people like Brinks to come along, take your money. So they just went contactless and banks charge their fee, but everyone charges their fee and it's just the way it works. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. So we were post-COVID and we were post-cashless and it was all set in stone.
Fabulous. I noticed your little machine up on your stand and I was at the vaults in London Waterloo watching, I forgot, Rouse and Rebel or something like that. It's like a jazz and magic night.
Yeah.
And as you're walking out, the cloakroom attendants had something where you could just leave them a tip. I don't know if it's one of yours or not.
No, I'm not too sure, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
but it's the
chat with them.
The whole business started in coffee shops. It was all built around micropayments. So how many times this year have you had £2 in your pocket or £1 in your pocket? Never.
It depends who's listening, but never.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
But it's the coin, you might have it in your bank account because I'm sure that's my bank account balance. But it's having that kind of, the jingle's gone out of people's pockets. So it started in coffee shops. You could leave £1 for the employees and it kind of built up from there. Now we operate in restaurants, hotels, we have airports and all that kind of stuff as well. It's anybody that wants to talk to me, I work with. You approached us, we met you a minute ago and now we're chatting. But it's, that's how it works really. So it's trying to make sure that when you, because we all work hard for our money. I work hard for my paycheck. We all work stupidly long hours. If you decide, hey, I'm going to give this person £10 at the table, you want to make sure that tip goes directly to them.
Yeah.
You don't want any, jiggery or pokery and that sort of stuff from businesses. And in fairness, 99.9% of businesses will always tip staff fairly. But the legislation is here to protect the employees in the places that don't. And that's kind of where we operate.
I have been in that situation where you've been at restaurants and you see a service charge and you think, well, who is it going to? I want to tip. In the olden days, you used to press the button, add a tip,
or no.
and then you'd hope it would go, and you
but the conversation around this is actually hilarious, or in Ireland, it's gas, as we say. So it's the new one now is a brand charge on top of a service charge. So businesses were clearly taking a percentage of the service charge, and now they're saying they can't take it under legislation, which is brilliant. But the brand charge is the way of getting the money they were taking already, which I think is disgusting, but
Yeah.
that's life.
Just to sit at the top of a tree, do nothing, and watch your workers do all the
It
work.
just increase your prices if that's the case. And look,
Yeah.
I know businesses are struggling, and there's nothing against that, but to implement a brand charge is just an interesting one. I know we haven't seen that in anywhere. There's only one location I've seen it in, but if you want to make more money, you got to charge more, or else reduce your cost base like everybody else. And the staff need the tips because they've got increased rent, increased cost, electricity, childcare. So we're here to protect them and make sure they get paid.
Talking to price, I was at a Cafe Culture show a few weeks back, and they were talking about the £5 flat white.
Yeah.
And it's going to come.
Oh,
and
of course it is, yeah.
For me, £5 for a coffee.
But do you know why? So in Ireland, we speak with suppliers quite often, and the price of milk went up by 60% in 1 month. So the £5, now that could be an issue of cost of increase, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, look, everything's got more expensive. It's just the way the world's gone. But I don't know. That's fine. Let's wait and see.
Do you think that's down to Brexit? Am I allowed to mention Brexit?
No.
Am I going to get hit for Brexit?
It's you guys. It's you guys that brought Brexit in. We're just dealing. But no, Brexit is probably more on the employee side, trying to find staff that want to do the work. It's quite hard, and we see that. So we can see churn rate of staff, and we have customers who would have had 50, 60, 70% turnover in staff, and our selling point for them is they can earn more through tips. Now, my favourite one about tipping is we get so many people giving us hate, Oh, I don't tip. Why would I ever tip? Stop bringing the American culture in. It's a very simple answer, in my opinion. What do you think my answer is? Someone says, should never do tipping.
Don't tip.
Don't tip. Why is this a conversation like?
That's it. It's like scroll on.
Just don't tip. Just say no. They're not going to take it personally. They go on to the next table and they hope to get a tip off there. So it's it's hilarious. It just everyone gives their opinion. That's the way the world works.
Right, well, I'm going to wrap it up there. So, James, I've had a quick look at your names badge because I did forget. But, James,
no worries, Paul.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
Brilliant, thank you.
And I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Thanks.
This next chap, I actually walked past his stall and I listened in and thought, oh, that's quite fascinating. I'll come back later when he's not busy talking to people that he's selling his wares to. So I went back and this was our coffee pot conversation. Hello, and who are you?
My name's Chris, and I run No More Lids. So we are the UK and European distributors for the Good Cup. The Good Cup is an amazing hot and cold drinks cup with an integrated folding lid. So goodbye to all those nasty plastic lids, the horrible paper lids that taste like rotten cardboard. All gone because our cup has an integrated lid, and we're good to go with hot drinks.
So what makes you different to a regular cup without a lid?
So a regular cup without a lid normally has a PLA or a plastic lining, so that's very bad for the environment. People see recyclable and compostable on cups. Sadly, that's greenwashing. So a lot of companies say it's recyclable, but it has to go off to a specialist factory. Say it's compostable, yes it is, but it needs to go off for specialist treatment. Our cup just goes into your standard at-home paper recycling, or you could actually compost it in your garden. Either way, it's gone without a trace in under 6 months. So we are a fully sustainable, genuine, good for the planet cup.
That's pretty impressive. Well done.
Thank you.
That's it. No.
Yeah, we're done. See ya.
So give me a sales talk.
So basically, yeah, so the cup is good for hot and cold drinks, which is a game changer in itself, because normally places need a hot cup, they need a cold cup, they need a lid for that one, a lid for that one. So we take all of that down to one single cup. It will take hot drinks, I can say, right up to boiling temperature, not a problem at all, because the cup has thermal protection by the way it's woven, the paperboard that makes it. It then has an aqueous lining, so this is a technical bit. In effect, aqueous is like a hardened water polymer, so it's a natural polymer, creates a complete watertight barrier, so you're not going to spill your drink. And then because of our unique folding lid, you're not going to be able to spill your drink at all. Even if you knock your drink over, it's completely spill-proof. And at the end of the day, when you've queued up or spent a fortune on the best coffee that you want in the world, the last thing you want to do is drop it. Our cups then go right up to pint size as well, so away from the coffee side into cold drinks and pints. Again, if you're at a festival, you've paid 25 quid for a pint because you're at a festival, the last thing you want to do is spill that pint on your way back. So our cups are fully sealed with their integrated lid, and also in that environment it makes them anti-spiking as well, so it's one of the safest cups out there as well to use.
And reusable?
You can reuse it during the same day. So we are a single-use cup, but you can have up to 6 hot drinks in it back-to-back, or 8 cold drinks in it back-to-back. So in a festival or any sort of self-service environment, it's a one-day reusable cup. At the end of the day, straight in the recycling, your conscience is clear and you're good to go.
Now, I know I said earlier this is like microphones, not video, but my face was amazed then.
Yes, it was genuinely. I can vouch for that. Yeah.
I'm having a look, it says about perfect for food to go, and it's got a picture of the noodles coming out.
Absolutely, yeah. So because of the cup and the coating on it, it's also grease proof. It will take olive oils, it can go in the oven, it can go in the freezer, it can go in the microwave. So that suddenly opens up food service. And although it is audio, like I say, we've got a visual there of noodles in the cup, chicken in the cup, we've got churros in the cup, ice cream in the cup. We're working with a cinema chain at the minute for pick and mix and popcorn. The whole idea is one cup does all the jobs you need. And obviously along the chain, that means we're delivering you one box. We're not sending you boxes of lids, cups and everything like that. So the carbon footprint of the cup as it travels around the country is dramatically reduced as well.
And again, because it's just the one cup, there's no lids as well?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, completely.
I heard you say it earlier, there's no imbalance of lids against cups.
No, because that's always the case. Anybody that's out there working in the industry knows there's never enough cups for lids or vice versa. Absolutely. And that's because, plastic lids are notorious, they split very easily. And obviously with a plastic lid, every lid you touch, chances are somebody's already touched that lid, move that lid away. With our cup, even when you fold it, your hands go nowhere near the area that the customer from our side will then drink from, so it's a completely hygienic cup as well.
Fabulous. I did touch briefly earlier about Paris.
Yes.
I also heard you say that you distribute in France.
We do indeed, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
How do you find the French markets?
Harder than the UK market. A little more discerning in their idea of what a cup should be. But in actual fact, what we found then is as soon as they're using the cup or they've drank out of the cup, they go, okay, I get it. Yeah, I see what you're doing here. But they look at it and they think, oh, that doesn't look premium. But we do work with a famous pastry chef who's got Michelin-starred places in Paris and Saint-Tropez. We actually produce his cups. So that kind of shows you the level actually of acceptance for the cup. If he's happy to use it, then it should filter down.
And you mentioned about the launch in Paris.
Yeah,
as well?
So we launched. Actually, that's our link to Paris. Is we actually the cast of Amelie in Paris helped us launch. So she's actually features on our YouTube channel. If you all want to visit that, if you head to nomorelids.com. Click through to YouTube, you'll be able to see that there, and it's a beautiful video shot in Paris of the actual actress herself using the cup, going into a beautiful French bistro, getting herself a coffee, and off she pops down the streets of Paris holding our wonderful cup.
That sounds fabulous. Yeah. As long as she comes back from Rome. I don't know if you've been catching up with it or not.
Not recently.
Oh,
she took the cup with her though. She took the cup with her.
I would imagine, yeah, absolutely.
She's having noodles and pasta in it as we speak.
It's a quick question then, because I used to do hospitality years ago. How do they come packed? If I was to say order a box from you, have it delivered?
Yeah. So the cups come in boxes of 1,000. So again, this is a visual thing. Sorry for all the listeners out there, but this cup takes up 40% less space than if you were to order cups and lids separately. So again, all the way along the logistics chain, and for all the hospitality businesses out there, space is always a premium. We've helped with that. We're going to save you 40% in your stockroom, so you can fill it with other stuff.
That's like coffee beans.
Yeah, because it's never space, it's just other stuff.
Tell me about it, yeah. Like the man drawer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, no, that's fabulous. I'm standing here, I'm looking at this stand.
And one thing to say to you yesterday, so at this show, we won Packaging of the Year 2024 fabulous. For our wonderful cup. So we got judged and awarded yesterday.
Congratulations.
So,
I also noticed you've got some other awards.
All these, 14 awards we've got now altogether. International awards, so and we've only been going 18 months, so excited. So everyone look out for the good cup. It's coming your way.
Absolutely. And the links will be in the show notes. I hate saying that, but they will be in the show notes.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to quickly double check your name, which was Chris.
Yep.
Thank you for your time.
Wonderful. Thank you for the chat.
Speak to you soon.
And enjoy your coffee.
So from one cup with no lid to another cup with no lid. But this one has a different spin on disposables. Hello, and who are you?
Hi, I'm Maxim, better known as Mr. Stroodles. I run a company called Stroodles, and we resell also cups. They're edible, and we do edible spoons, plates, bowls, and edible coffee stirrers as well. And it's all about having fun with sustainability.
Edible cups?
Yes.
Tell me more.
So they're basically wafer cups, 40 minutes hot and cold. You basically do coffee, hot chocolate, desserts, espresso martinis, affogatos, anything you want basically, and then basically eat it after. It's fully sustainable, and it's about having fun with sustainability.
And what are the cups made from?
It's like wafer, like ice cream cone. So it has gluten in them, and then after, it's like a biscuit cone, basically.
And how did you come up with such a strange concept?
Well, there's a need for sustainability, there's a need for theater and experience. So that combines two in one, and it's about, just looking at sustainability from a different angle. It's about having fun and inspiring people how easy sustainability can be.
Lovely. And what sort of market are you aiming to send these out to?
It's anything like retail, then hospitals, bars, conferences, events, hotels, coffee shops, workplaces, like anything and everything.
Excellent. I'm going to confess, I did have one earlier, one of the larger ones. It was probably about 11 o'clock, and I'm still full up from it. So it was.
It says 105 calories, the big
that's
one.
not too bad.
So it's good.
Walking around, I burnt it off.
It's not too bad. Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm assuming you have them, you eat them.
Yeah.
What do you put in yours?
I like boozy stuff, so I put out espresso martinis are nice. No, normally like a coffee, hot chocolate.
But when I can, coffee.
When I can, I'd rather put alcohol.
Fabulous. And I'm assuming they're not reusable.
No.
No, we don't want to reuse them afterwards.
Yeah, you can dry them, but no, you don't want to.
No, absolutely.
No.
Brilliant. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Yeah, I grew up in Germany, so and then moved to UK, 12 years ago. Before I had university, a long time ago in Manchester. And I've been in London for, doing the Stroodles business for 5.5 years.
Excellent. So what got you interested in it? Is it sort of the German side, the European side, or was it Manchester Uni that did it?
No, it's just about reshaping sustainability, trying to leave an impact, and seeing the fruits of it, and helping people rethink that sustainability topic.
Excellent. And if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
So Stroodles.co.uk, website, and then my email or info@ or maxim@stroodles.co.uk, and then you can reach out to me.
Fabulous. I just want to say, because it's an audio only, no one can see you. Fabulous top hat.
Thank you.
So there will all be show links and stuff.
Cool.
I'm going to give you guys a little badge after so you can connect. Should be out on Tuesday.
Oh wow, very quick.
I might edit this part out, or I might leave it in. So who knows? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks
for your time.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
I'd like to say a huge thanks to Craig, Sarah and James from JustTip.net, Chris and Gemma from No More Lids, and Maxim and his team from Stroodles. People think I find this easy, and I really, really don't. So I also want to say thank you to Nev for being my strength and wisdom for last episode. I couldn't have done that episode without you, and I certainly couldn't have done this one without you. So thank you for that. This episode was a little bit different to what I've been planning in my mind as to how Coffee Pot Conversations would be going. But then actually, this is exactly how I thought Coffee Pot Conversations would be going, with random conversations, Coffee Pot Conversations, talking about coffee, the cafe culture, tying it up with Paris. So I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart, those that have been listening that I know about, such as Rahi from work, and those that I don't know about, such as people in Mexico, Macau, Romania, Germany and Poland. And maybe even because Emily in Paris has gone to Italy, I've had people from there listening to me. So thank you to you. Those people listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Buzzsprout and Podbean. Thank you, each and every one of you. Please let me know where you're listening in from. Email me 2.8 at anenglishmaninparis.blog. Let me know where you listen from. That's your call to action. And now it's time for a little bit of late night jazz. Unless you're listening during the day, in which case, hey, it's just jazz.
I'm feeling mighty lonesome, haven't slept a wink. I walk the floor and watch the door, and in between I drink black coffee. Love's a hand-me-down broom. I'll never know a Sunday in this weekday room. I'm talking to the shadows, 1 o'clock till 4, and Lord, how slow the moments go when all I do is pour black coffee. Since the blues caught my eye, I'm hanging out on Monday, my Sunday dreams to dry. Now man is born to go a-lovin', a woman's born to weep and fret, to stay at home and tend her oven and drown her past regrets in coffee and cigarettes. I'm mooning all the morning, morning all the night, and in between it's nicotine and not much heart to fight. Black coffee, feeling low as the ground. It's driving me crazy, this waiting for my baby to maybe come around.
And that was Peggy Lee with Black Coffee. This episode's inspiration for the music came from Nev, who treated us to a night at Rhythm and Ruse at London Waterloo's The Vaults Theatre. Rhythm and Ruse is a night of jazz, close-up magic and 5 cocktails. Who could ask for anything else? Well, it could have been in Paris, but hey, that's another episode. And now it's time for Jasper's jingle.
Coming up on Coffee Pot Conversations.
We still have next episode, which is 2.9. I've got literally no idea what I'm going to do for that. That's not strictly true. I have an idea. I just need to make it work. And then I have the best bits. So please let me know what your best bits are. 2.10, the best bits at An Englishman in Paris.blog. Thanks for tuning into Coffee Pot Conversations today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Whether it's your favourite Paris cafe, a cherished landmark, a memorable meal, or the perfect song to wrap up an episode. Maybe it's a story from a past trip, or simply something that's on your mind. Drop me an email or send me a message on Instagram, and who knows, your idea or song may actually inspire a whole episode. Until next time, keep the coffee hot, the pot warm, and the conversation cool.
Coffee Pot Conversations.